All right, good morning, everybody. All right, let's get started. US equities closed higher on Monday in a very low volume trading session. It was actually quite one of those days where it almost felt like the Aussie was leading the US market. We were underpinned right from the beginning of the day, with the US and European markets under pressure, and then predictably US and UK and the rest. All followed the SA market and eventually ended up pretty nicely positive. One of the few days recently where the Russell and the Nasdaq have outperformed the S&P. We had a very good day out of technology. Google, Yahoo, Facebook saw strong buying interest, and then Pandora, TripAdvisor, Netflix, all up over 4%. In Asia, broadly positive. Again, tech stocks performing out of China, but we did also have Chinese property developers continuing their slide on disappointing real estate numbers. Tencent, I'm sure you've all seen, up over 4% this morning. So we could see some more follow through on Naspers, although they traded pretty well yesterday as well. And Billy's in Asia, how did they do? How did Billy's go in Australia? Billy's, it looks like it's down a scrap in Aussie. Out of earnings out of SA today, we had PPC came out this morning, 96 versus estimate of 1.10 rand. Revenue also a bit light at 4.16 billion. Dividend also missed by 2 cents. So weak data out of PPC. You might see a little bit of a pullback there. I'm not sure if they came out with guidance, but from the original estimates, that's definitely a bit of a miss. Coronation headline earnings pretty much bang in line with guidance. Revenue slightly light from the original estimate. Dividend quite a bit better though, 2.75 compared to the original estimate of 2.16. I think we do have some other data out today. I think Netcare is also coming out, and I think maybe Roynet. Just keep an eye out for those. US Medtronic coming out of the States. Keep an eye on that one. All right, key factors today. We've got German PPI coming out at 8. Or it must have come out already. I'm not sure what that result was. Japanese machine tool orders, industrial orders out of Italy, UK CPI, UK retail price index at 10:30, and then UK PPI at 10:30 as well. Italian current account balance. Obviously, that's not going to do anything. All right, let's have a look at a couple of maps. First one on the show was the Aussie. Joe showed this chart yesterday. Showed that 44,000 level, very unbelievably crucial, but it's held very solid. A couple of days ago, we tested that 45,000 level, then pulled back quite sharply. Yesterday, all concerns from the end of last week were negated, and they came out of the blocks firing. Based on yesterday's trade action, unless we get a real reversal, it feels like we're going to be continuing to go test that 45,000 level again. And another chart of interest I wanted to show was the German DAX. They've been unbelievably solid as well of late. Broken out of this big inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern, broke through originally, and then at the end of last week came back to test the neckline, and then put on a good green candle right off that support level yesterday, which really shows that there's a bit of buying interest around those levels, and I think the target on this is well over 10,000. So looks like there's more upside in the DAX as well. Next one I want to have a look at was MTN. We've been following this crucial 220 level in MTN. The last sort of 2 weeks we've tested 220 pretty much every single day and survived it every day. Yesterday was the first day we actually had a little bit of follow through, although we didn't end up on the high of the day. It really is looking bullish. The pattern in general shows quite a bit of a higher target for MTN here. So we've seen how on our market how some of these stocks have followed through from these breakouts. So there's no reason MTN can't be one of them. Another one I want to show, and this one I think has potential to be sort of trade of the year, we can see how this massive sort of 2-year broadening formation on AVI. I know it's a bold statement. Right. So yesterday we went and tested that resistance at just over $60, 60 and a half, and we came back to close at about 60. I think if we consolidate a little bit further along this line and break out, there could be an explosive move to the upside here. I mean, as you know, the longer a stock stays in a sideways trend, the bigger the potential breakout is, and the more explosive it has potential to be. So, keep an eye out on this sort of 61 level in AVI. It could be a good trade for the year. The next one I want to show is Barloworld. Barloworld, another one we've been following. It's been another sort of big breakout that we had recently through $100. And now, it spent the last little while at around between 110 and 115 for the most part. We came out with earnings that were a slight disappointment, but the market shrugged it off. The stock's hardly moved, off the top, and it's actually been forming a little bit of a symmetrical triangle here in the meantime. So keep an eye on it. If we get a bit of a move, I would say over 115, we could see the continued follow through from this big breakout, which shows a target of 130 and higher, I think. So 115 I think is our level for now on Barloworld. A move above there is, I would say, pretty bullish. And I just wanted to show Sasol action from yesterday. Incredible action. Thursday and Friday was one of the weakest stocks. Moved over $25 from the high, down to 580. It looked like that was the breakdown, and then found support at this 50-day moving average and reversed viciously yesterday. Moved pretty much $20 from the low. As we can see here from this chart, $600 is quite a nice level. Had multiple touches at that 600 level and failed. If we get some follow through from yesterday's session and we can hold above $600, then Sasol could enjoy another anything between $20 and $40 to the upside, I would imagine, as long as the market holds. And then the last one I want to show is AngloGold. AngloGold came out with results yesterday. Traded unbelievably in the morning session, but when the States opened, it came under pressure and wasn't able to hold this sort of ugly head and shoulders resistance. It put in a sort of a big wick, closed pretty much where it opened. If we get further weakness today and we see a close below 176, that could mark the next move down to approximately 160, 164, somewhere in that region. And that's all for today, guys. Good luck trading.
The Sasol thing doesn't make sense.